Oh.
What is it? Wait, how is it, Skeff?
What's up, you guys?
What's up? What is up, everybody? I am Highly a Comic Bro, and this is episode 3 of Slab Men. And this month, I have 2 of the hottest channels going out there. Oh, stop, Skeff. Stop.
Yeah, for real.
I got Comically Correct Comics. Brian, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for coming on with us.
What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me. I don't know about hottest shows out there, but I definitely am the right man for the show for Slab Men, because I was looking around trying to find something to put my computer on, and the only thing I had a lot of standing by was a big old stack of slabs.
Oh, you're on your laptop. You're on your laptop. So you had to elevate it.
Bro, how badass is that, dude?
It is nothing but Darkhawk #1.
That might be a first.
I wish right now.
Right.
Hey, and with us also is Skeff's Comic Knowledge, man. Thank you for coming back on my channel.
No, it's a pleasure. This is a pleasure.
You've been looking forward to this.
I'm gonna on the calendar. I put it on the calendar.
You put it on the calendar?
Yeah.
All right.
I made it legit.
Brian, I asked Skeff to come on today. I mean, for this show, and he immediately goes, "What about Comically Correct?" And I go, "All right, man, let's give him a chance." I had seen your channel, and I go, "Let's give it. Let me reach out." And lo and behold, he accepted.
Really?
Man.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
He instantly he messaged me back.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I went and checked out your channel. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'll do that. Slab Man, just the picture of the dude on the couch. I was like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that.
Right. I was like, there was another guy that I was thinking of. I think his name is like Geek Aficionado or something like that.
Oh yeah,
he might be on it one day.
Jimmy.
One day he might make the cut.
Jimmy's good people, man. We got a lot of good people showing up. We got La Cruz, 1971 was welcome. Alvin Fields, Cyber Dad.
Nice.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Nikki Larson. Comics for Thomas. Thank you for coming by. Nelvis, what's going on? John Ross. Man, Raiders. What's going on? Firehawk, Cameron. Man, thank you so much for coming on.
So many good people.
Man, both of you guys. Skeff, you've been on YouTube. I looked it up about 9 months. Comically, Brian, you've been on. Can you hear us? You're breaking up a little bit.
Brian, if you can hear us and you could like direct line your computer into like an Ethernet.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
He is breaking up. But Brian's been on a lot shorter than I have. But his Instagram page is huge.
It's huge. It's massive.
A massive Instagram page, which I pale in comparison.
Massive. But both of you guys are doing it. You're working your butts off, man. Both of you guys. The thumbnails are freaking on point.
I'm very proud.
You what?
Proud of my thumbnails.
The thumbnails are freaking crazy. What's up, Kid Collector? Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But dude, you guys are showing and doing. You're submitting some amazing books, man, and you're getting some amazing grades back. Oh, there he is. What up? Give me 1 second. Wait. There he is. Better? Yeah, man. You're good.
I hope
it's okay. It happens, man. It's all good.
Brian's on he's on dial-up, guys. You got to give him a second.
He's on AOL.
He's got to save some funds on the Cgc books.
I hope it's not me. I mean,
where did you see the
perfect thumbnail requires your face and excitement or utter sadness. That's
Yeah.
that's the trademark of I would like a perfect thumbnail. Or if you just put Hylia's face on every thumbnail,
there
that
you
would
go.
be then just fine.
There you go. Yeah, or just don't do thumbnails my way, man. These guys are masters. They're masters at submitting. I am in awe of the books that you guys show. And
It's dumb luck.
it's not dumb luck, bro. You know what? I've learned from watching you just the different things. Like when I first started submitting and all that, I was just looking at spine ticks. Spine ticks do they break color? Don't they break color? I didn't know about the pressing. You know, of course I learned about the pressing, but the thing that the one that I see that I look out for more now than spine ticks, and that's the one everybody looks for, is the color rub, man. Is that what you guys look for? Is that like one of the big things?
For me, it is.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that it's something now that isn't a guarantee anymore. That the concept of like the color rub with the new ink compared to like ink of years past is more prevalent in the newer modern books that I've noticed compared to books from 3 to 4 years ago. And some companies are grading that harsher than, at least, I won't say some companies, but it appears that the printer rub is really up to, subjugation more often than not. In the fact that, like, sometimes it can come back at 9.0, sometimes it can come back at 9.4. It depends on how much printer rub is on the book, and that's something you actually really can't control.
Yeah. So you think you could get a 9.8 with color rub?
Yeah, I have one.
You do have one,
but it's just a little bit of color rub. I'll grab right behind me.
Okay. What do you feel about that, Brian?
Yeah, I've been surprised with once I started doing these larger submissions, getting back like 100, 125 books at a time, and you really get a good feel for like what they consistently allow. Every once in a while you'll get that anomaly where there's like just really bad color rub or a really bad spine tick or a hair stuck in the case. Every once in a while you get something that's the anomaly, but after you see some consistency, you start to see what they will allow. And color rub is definitely something they allow a little bit of. It's one of those things that's hard to like quantify because it's hard to get like an area size that they'll allow, because color rub can be like a thin line or it could be like one little blotch or so it's hard to say like how much they'll allow. But I've noticed that like about a little bit of color rub at both staples is usually allowed.
Okay. I'm going to show a book later, or I'll show it after Skeff, because I have a 9.6, and I look at the book and it's like that looks like color rub, but I don't know if it's part of the back cover art, so it's kind of weird. But I'll show that in a second. Go ahead, Skeff.
I'm gonna try it. I'm trying to get on here. So it's a copy of Venom. Oh, that's cool. Venom number 4. That all black cover. I'm gonna try to get this on here, but it's gonna be on this back left-hand side. There's no way I get this on here. No way. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh, I see it.
Yep, and it runs across the bottom.
Wow, and you got a 9.8?
Yep, and then there's some. Nope, that's really about it. But yeah, it's just one of those books where it's just like, oh, there's some right there, but just right by the staple, like Brian was pointing out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like this book was a book that I submitted for a pre-screen because the book didn't need the press. It was perfect. And then it was just that color rubbing on the back that I wasn't sure if it would qualify or not. Therefore, I submitted that as a pre-screen. I never pressed it because there was nothing else wrong with the book, and I can't press out the color rub. So it was one that came back in 9.8 from a pre-screen.
Wow. And both of you guys used the pre-screens like videos, right?
I've been using
for sure. I mean,
go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the option to use it, you should use it every time. I mean, I'm thinking about I'm trying to figure out how I could like test my theory about the pre-screens and whether or not you get a little bit more leniency with pre-screens or not. And it's kind of hard to figure out a way to actually test that. But I mean, I was just looking at, I got a bunch of books that I pre-screened and I pre-screened for a 9.6. So like one time I had a submission 25 books. I pre-screened everything 9.8, and then 2 of them I pre-screened a 9.6 because I thought I still would be happy with the 9.6. Like it was a bigger book, and both of those books came back 9.6. And so I have a hunch, and I'm wondering, it's like, do they see my pre-screen and they see, oh, he thinks, you know, it might be a 9.6, and then all of a sudden they make it a 9.6. So I don't know. I'm going to resubmit those because they really do look perfect. And so I'm going to crack them. I don't think they need a press, like Skeff was saying. Like if there's nothing to press out, there's nothing to press out. Right. And I'm going to resubmit them, pre-screen them 9.8, and see how they come back. So yeah, I'm not sure. But
dude, what you just said about pre-screening it to 1.6, that makes so much sense. You're breaking up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
What pre-screening it to 9.6 makes so much sense with what you just said. Maybe that's what you think they would think that, right? You're thinking it's a 9.6. Why wouldn't he put it at 9.8, right? It's kind of weird.
Right. It's one of those. It is interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah. And it's just hard. It's one of those things that's hard to test. I mean, it's hard to get like a concrete answer of, you know, like, do you get more leniency with the pre-screen or not, you know?
I would say yes. I would just say yes. Like from what I've seen, and like and I'm especially going to find out in probably like a couple weeks, because currently I have 75 books at CGC. All 75 of them are pre-screened. So it'll be one of the things where like, all right, let's see how I get like, and then all the rejects that I get from the 75 books, I will resubmit if they don't need a press and see what happens again.
My God, that's on a massive scale, dude.
Yeah, it's just just a bunch of like.
Do you guys fast track?
God no. Well, it depends on the books. It depends on if they're getting pressed or. I won't fast track any of my pre-screens ever.
Okay. What about you, Brian? Do you fast track Comically? Oh, he's stuck. I don't know if you can see it.
I think he has before. I remember watching one of his videos.
Right?
I think he has. I thought maybe when he got a bunch of the free comic book day Spider-Man books.
Okay.
I thought maybe he did fast tracking.
I'm gonna show. It's Moon Girl, right?
Oh, dude, I had one of those and it got a 9.6 because of the printer rub on the back.
Okay, let me show it. Let me show it. That's the one I want to show. Widow. All right, let me see if I could get it. It's
now is that a 9.8 or a 9.6?
It's a 9.6.
Okay, just like when I had mine. I sold mine a while back.
I think it's like right.
It should be along that edge where the side is. The whole
You see it right there?
I see it. Yep, I see it. Yep.
That's the only thing keeping this book, bro.
There's nothing on the bottom?
There's nothing. I don't see anything on the bottom.
Okay. Interesting.
The bottom looks clean.
So here's the thing you could do, right? Oh, what about that top left? Anything on the top left corner? Top left back corner? No, it looks good.
It looks good. Everything else about the book looks great.
Is that white cover?
The only thing I could see is that I showed.
No notes, right? No notes on the 9.6.
Of course, no notes.
Sometimes
and it wasn't pressed or anything. So,
dude, so if I were you, the book has so much potential. You have a bigger chance of hitting. Like the way I look at it for like grading books, my whole concept is like when you get a book graded, your goal is to miss small and succeed massively. You know what I mean? So like if you get that book pressed, clean, resubmitted, and it comes back at 9.6, you've missed out on just a little bit.
Skiff.
It's at 9.8.
I'm only into it with the grading $30.
So that's the trick. That's what I factor into everything that I get graded. Is the concept of like, you know, if you miss small, but if you hit, it's a home run every time.
I'm gonna get it pressed. It doesn't need a cleaning, obviously, but I am gonna get it pressed because I did it the first time.
Yeah, and shit, maybe just pre-screen it. Find some other books that like you might want to send out, and
The thing is, I think I have like 30 something books there now.
Oh,
And,
yeah, okay.
and it's
So
all over the place. And
might
I
just
got some silver, I got bronze, I got a whole mess of. It's not just modern.
you got all the good stuff. You got all, as what my friend Dustin likes to call the blue chips.
Yeah, I got a few of
blue
those.
chips there. I'm over here dealing with the penny stocks.
You know what? I wanted to bring that up, man. I'm hoping Comically could come right back, man.
I'm sure he's trying to get that Ethernet cable hooked up back.
Mastodon, what's up? Brent Crow, thank you all for coming. Firehawk,
Guys, it should be fun.
Professor, thank you so much for coming in, man. Comically Correct Comics is having a few issues with his internet, so hopefully he will be back. Because we've been looking forward to this for like a whole month, man. And I wanted to get you. You know what? It was cool when you suggested him because you guys are all modern. You're all modern.
It's because that's all I can afford.
Oh, stop, man. Shut up.
Like, I'll put it this way. The great part about what you're submitting, the silver, the bronze, those stuff, they're stunning because of how well they maintain through everything. They're consistent in value, and when they fluctuate, it's small, but it's consistent.
Yeah.
So, what was it? I said Skeff. Oh, something.
I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah. If he has the Thor God of Thunder, even if they are increased, if they've increased in price, I would suggest pick them up regardless. Gore, you don't hire Christian Bale to do one movie.
That's a good point.
I'm just saying you don't hire the Batman to do one film and die.
Man, and I had a 9.8 and I sold it like 2 months ago before it got big, man.
It makes me feel any better. My shop had a 9.8. They're going to sell me for like $175 a week before the news dropped. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm short on funds this week. I'll pick it up next week. I went back next week and I looked at him. He looked at me like, is it gone? He's like, it's gone. And I'm like, damn.
Okay, thank you. Because I've been feeling bad about it. I sold it at the beginning of October.
Nope.
And it's I only started recently selling in August or July. And that was one of the regrets, but I've already forgotten about it.
Move on.
You can't look back, man. Move on.
Dude, at the end of the day, man, there's always another book. There's
Of
always
course.
another thing you're going to hit on. There's always another thing.
Let me check my phone real quick. Let me see if Comically Correct has sent anything. No.
I'll hop back on here.
Yeah, he's trying to get back on, man.
Good. But that's what I was saying though. Like the whole concept of like the moderns for me is because it's hard for me, like at this point where I'm trying to like get some books churned to get to the big boy books. For the Silver Age stuff, it's hard to find deals in the Silver and Bronze Age stuff to then get graded. Most of those books are currently priced at like close to graded value, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's hard. So at the end of the day, like if I was going to try to pick up a book, it'd be either it has to be a long-term hold, or you get lucky where like, oh, you bought it and then it just picked up. So like those are going to be like the keepers. Like these modern stuff are just like most of them are just to get to my long-term holds.
And what are your long-term holds? Because I know you're selling like crazy on eBay.
Yeah, it's Journey into Mystery 83.
That's right. I saw that. I saw that.
Journey
into
83.
Yeah.
That price is skyrocketing now. Like a 4, like a 3. There's like $6,000. Like it's insane right now. So I might have to like lower my standards quite a bit. But like that would be like a great grail to get, or any like early like single-digit ASM copies in a nicer grade would be amazing too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, those are the books that I'm after. Like the big boy books where it's just like cool. This is like something that I could just hold on to and cherish and like love.
And love. You're not going to move that. You're going to get it and it's going to stay, right? And then you're going to be selling other stuff to get it moved. But the thing is, you're sending so many multiples that it doesn't hurt. I don't have multiples like that. So sometimes I get one and it's a 9.8. It's like, you know what? I kind of want to hold hard. Even though it's a modern. Though it's a modern, right?
Hey, but a great saying, for the greater good, right?
Yeah, for the greater good. But you know what? I got like a whole box of books, and I'm just waiting because they're not ready to sell. They're ready, but they're not ready. If you know what I mean.
It's one of the things where you at the end of the day, man. I always tell people, like, if you're gonna sell a book and you make a profit, you've won. Like you can't ever be upset about making a profit. You could have made more money, but never get upset about making a profit. But if you do believe in the book, it comes down to this: like, everyone always gets mad about like what they're selling or what they're collecting. Like, if you truly believe this book will be worth double in 2 years, then why would you ever sell it?
Why sell it? Yeah,
right?
exactly.
If you really think it's gonna be worth double in like 2 years because you have a hunch or you the pattern you've noticed and you just have a feeling, go with it. You know what I mean? No one can be mad at you except for yourself.
No, and you know what? Going back to that Thor 2, I knew that book was gonna eventually, but I needed the money to get a Silver Age book. Even though I still made a profit. I made a huge profit.
Right, you made a profit.
It way under. I would have made a massive profit if I would have waited, but I wouldn't have gotten the book because the book, I already had my eyes on the book. I wanted the book and I needed to sell that one to help my funds to get that one. So it was worth it.
Right, and that's the one thing I always tell people to remember is at the end of the day, man, there's always going to be, like, for books, it's interesting because, like, it's either the character or the cover that you're wanting the book for. And the very rare occasions, it's for both. But there's always going to be a time to, like, jump back into the book. It very rarely, unless it's a Golden Age or Silver Age key, where the opportunity is gone. Hey!
What's up?
Now?
We can hear you, yeah.
We can hear you. We can see you.
Would you guys believe me if I told you that?
No, we wouldn't believe you. Whatever you're going to say is going to be no.
What's up, two brothers?
Two brothers.
I was going to say, would you believe me if I told you that I work in tech?
I don't, because I work for Apple, and I don't believe you.
Are you serious?
I do. I work for Apple. I'm an Apple technician.
No, I'm the. What? I didn't know that. That's way cool.
No, but nobody really knows.
Yeah,
that.
no,
I this caveman-like demeanor.
I'm the marketing and technology manager for this company, and people will email me and they'll be like, my computer isn't working. I'll be like, why are you asking me? I'm the fucking technology manager. That's right. Why are you asking me? I don't know anything about tech. Anyways, I'm connected to my phone's hotspot now, so it might go out. I don't know.
Out of the three of us, I'm the tech dinosaur, dude. I have no idea, pretty much. I'm the least one, man. So that is cool, dude. But I'm glad you're back. We were just talking about when was the first time you guys started submitting to CGC?
For me, it was like I started the YouTube channel. It was like 2.5 years ago. I think almost 3 years ago when I submitted like my first couple books ever to CGC.
And you, Brian?
I haven't been doing it all that long myself. I did one here or there over the years, for probably about the last 5 years, but I didn't really start getting into it until like the last, I want to say like 9 months. 9 months where I'm really doing like big submissions, and because that's my goal. I want to quit that technology job. I want to sell comics. I want to sell comics full time. And when Skeff mentioned 75 books at CGC, I was like, I'm a little bit nervous to say how many I got over there right now.
Oh, you have a lot more.
You kind of said it. How many do you have?
Yeah, you can't not say it.
Well, I just went and looked earlier today. I have 550 books waiting to be graded.
What do you do for work again?
My wife is gonna kill me.
She already see him again. So
she
I
already
want everyone
wants
to
to
just do the math and just take 500 and just go ahead and times it by 16 and give yourself a heart attack.
Well, 16 is more like 22. You got to factor.
No,
in
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Let's give you the dealer price.
Now check it out. 100 of those, 105 of those are Spawn number 9s.
Why? Why?
Okay, I'm going on the record.
Spider-Man books.
I'm going on the record. Spawn number 9 when it hits, everybody watching this show right now, they're going to be like, oh, shit, Comically Correct was right. He's in the money.
He just retired. Well, I mean, it's eventually going to hit, but it could take years.
I can't breathe, bro. I can't breathe. I'm like,
hey,
what?
No. You know what? The one of the beautiful things about submitting to CGC is like worst case scenario, like for real, worst case scenario with those spawn 9s, I'll break even. Like worst case scenario, you know.
So 100 of them there.
Meh, 105. Did I say 100?
You said 100.
Oh, it's 105.
It's 105.
I got a question. Wait. Before you go on to explain any of this, and like just like shit on all of us. Where did that, like, did you just find a warehouse full of them this year? Or is that like have you been building this up for like a 10-year?
No, it was a one-shot purchase. Very Gary's Comics. Very Gary did a video. He found 200 spawn 9s out in the wild. Twice.
Yeah.
You remember that video? I hit him up right after that video, and I told my wife, I was like, honey, I got the calculator out. I started doing math, and I was like, I'm going to buy 100 copies of Spawn number 9. And, you know, the goal, the end game here is quit my job. And so anyways, yeah, like that guy just said, she'll be in Guardians. If she's in Guardians, if that book goes up to 150, I'm like golden. I'm golden. You know what I mean? So
you are golden.
If it stays around 80, 90, you know, I'll be happy to break even. But you know what else was funny though about the whole subject of you know, cost of investment, what you can get for them when you get it back and when you flip it, when you sell it. You mentioned Free Comic Book Day, Spider-Man's.
Yes, I did.
What was funny about that is like I submitted like 125 books. I
watched videos.
Okay, so 10 of those were Free Comic Book Days, and those sold like right away. Right away, those sold, and you know, let's see if I got them for like $2 a piece, right? I submitted 10 and sold them all for 50.
Okay, nice. Graded 9/8 for 50. Graded
9/8, and they all came back 9/8, which was weird. Wow. So.
They're perfect. They're never handled as meanly.
Yeah.
So they were pre-screened, correct?
Yes.
So
yes.
In essence, so you have ballpark, right? So like your grading, is it $18 for the grading fee?
I think it's 17. I got
so you have that third level for CGC.
Yeah, it makes sense if you have
anyone doing $500 books, 500 books.
Exactly.
So it's $70 for the grading, right? $2 for the book, then shipping out to CGC and then shipping back from CGC, probably about $4, right? Per book average. So you're looking at 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then once you sell it, then you take off like $10 for the shipping, right? So it puts it at like 10, add 10 there. So it's 30, maybe like $32 with like packaging material, right? Give or take.
Well, the buyer pays for shipping. Did you?
Oh, you charge the buyer for shipping. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Buyer pays for shipping. That's huge. I mean, if not, that's 20% right there. You know, if it's only a $50 book, and it's $13 to ship it. That's like 25%.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So in essence, So in essence, you're into the book. Well, then wait, eBay, right?
eBay.
Okay. So fees 10%. So 45. All right. So it's like 23 maybe, and then $45, right? Not bad.
What do you mean?
Like the fees from eBay, the 10%?
45. Yeah, it comes out to the end of the day, the math's all over, $200 profit.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
So, you know, yeah, it's one of those things though. I mean, if you get a bunch of books that you can't sell,
then you're in trouble.
Then you're in trouble. Yeah. And there's a lot of guys that do it, and you know, I've switched up my strategy a little bit, you know, over the past 6-9 months, and just really kind of gotten more smart about what to submit. Like today, I would never submit that Free Comic Book Day. But you know, so that takes a lot of the guesswork out of it too. Is you just get smarter about what you submit. But I see guys on eBay There's two guys in particular, and it's funny because I mentioned one of them in one of my videos, and then like over like 6 months or so, I keep getting these messages where people like did detective work and figure out who I was talking about on eBay. They're like, "Oh, hey, thanks for turning me on to X and so seller on eBay. You know, I got some great deals." I'm like, "How did you figure that out?" I never said it. I never put them on blast in the email. And they're like, "Well, I just went and looked at the books you bought, and I looked on it like."
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's pretty easy.
See, you are a tech wizard then.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I find out everything.
You go to the sales. You go to sales and you just figure it out.
Do you know what watch count is? Watchcount.com? Oh, well, go look it up later. Watchcount.com, it's an amazing tool for eBay, like completed sold listings to find out like values and like where it came from and things like that.
Yeah.
Watchcount.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look into that. So anyway, so there's these two sellers on eBay, and one of them, he'll slab anything, and he's obviously not doing pre-screens, right? Because there's 9.2s, there's 9.4s, a lot of 9.2s, 9.4s, 9.6s of just brand new books, and they'll sell. If you look at, they're at no limit auctions, and they'll sell for like $20.
Right.
He's losing money. Like, how's he doing that? Yeah. So.
Well, maybe he got. Wait, what kind? Are these modern books?
Yes.
Totally modern, brand new, off the shelf.
Maybe he isn't. Maybe he's in. So I'm gonna try to rationally. So what he can do is if he has a diamond account, right? He could be getting the books for like close to nothing, right? If he knows like a shop and order them in bulk, get them close to nothing. If he has a Cgc dealer account, that's only $16. That's even cheaper. That's $16 to get it graded with a dealer account. And I'm sure he may have some type of eBay like business. Like, does he have a lot of reviews on eBay? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, he does a lot of sales. He's always got hundreds.
So if he has that business page up, eBay, once you get to like a certain threshold, they reduce the amount of like fees you get. So in essence, like he's getting books for like close to nothing, and he's at the cheap of what I'm aware of. It's $16, the cheap you can get for a CGC grading fee. And then his eBay fees are a lot less than, like, for example, Udemy or Hialeah's. So that could be like where he could be like not losing as much. But that's how you would kind of do it when you're in that that realm of like, if he's getting these books for like $1 a piece, you know what I mean, and having, I'm just getting them graded for 16, like you could just be breaking even.
Yeah, that's the worst business model in the world, to break even. It's a lot of work to break even, And
it's a lot of work. It's just his shipping fees, the bubble wrap, everything. That all adds up, man. Hey, real quick, let's get where is that question? I know we saw that question. Oh, there it is. From Kid Collected, do you guys have any advice for me for a first-time submission?
Man,
don't do it.
Loaded
Don't
question.
do it. That's what I would like to say. Just hard pass, and move on with your life of happiness.
Man, get ready for a learning lesson. Like just know, like just chalk. It's like your first YouTube video. Like just know that it's gonna suck.
Mine was amazing. No, mine was amazing, and I knew it immediately.
Yeah, right.
No,
you should see my first YouTube video. People commented, they're like, "Yeah, you had kind of a weird energy." I was like really serious and like,
yes.
Hey, can you guys say, are you guys addicted to CGC ascending in books? Would it be safe to say that? Because it is a rush. It's a rush, man. Waiting to see your books and your books come in, that is a rush, dude.
It brings me great joy when I get them back and all of the groundwork and hard work and like figuring out what book to send in. And when it comes back in a high grade, I do feel great joy because of it's like hard work being paid off. Yeah. I feel great joy in that.
Yeah. And for sure, like when you get a book back that you submitted, for sure, it feels way better to get it back in the 9.8 than buying a 9.8 on eBay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, I'm for sure addicted to the whole thing, There's no question about that.
How many slabs do you guys have right now? And I know you're probably selling a ton, but how many, including the ones you're selling, like around, give me a ballpark of how many slabs you have.
I'm looking at like I'm looking at probably like 100, 125 like right now. But like you said, like it's all just a constant cycle of in the PC.
Yeah. What do you okay? What's it? What do you have in your what's your PC consist of? Older books, or did you have a lot? It's more modern.
So, so that's what I actually I wanted to ask Skeff about this because so right now on my PC I'm looking at like 15 books max like that I actually have to keep, and it's all for me it's all about major keys, you know, Silver Age, Copper Age, modern keys like. In my PC, I don't know if I would keep them in the PC. You know, I love them. Like most of my books are modern, but I don't really get the modern books to keep long term. It's kind of like a means to get those major keys. Not that I don't have like mad respect for modern keys and modern books in general too, but what I've found, that's what I'm after. I'm chasing grails, right? I'm chasing those big keys. I'm chasing those Spider-Man keys and those major first appearances. But when you have a bunch of money tied up, say $2-3 grand in that grail, and it's just like a blue chip key, like you know, a reliable investment. It's not a spec book. It's not gonna double overnight, and you have $2-3 grand tied up in it. It's hard for me to hold on to it when I know I can sell that for $2-3 grand and put it in a bunch of copies of something that I think is gonna, you know, double soon. And then I can upgrade that. And so I was going to ask Skeff, like, how do you, because I know you were after that Journey into Mystery 83. How do you justify having 3 or 4 grand tied up in a book and just having that money just tied up there when you could be using that money to speculate on and get a bigger Journey into Mystery 83?
For me, it's because I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to get in. Like, for me, I look at it as like, that's where it comes down to. It's like if I believe the book's going to keep going up, I just want to miss that opportunity. And if I was successful in getting into that book from using other books, then I'm 110% confident I can do it again, regardless of moving my Journey into Mystery 83. Like I've been sitting and staring at this book for like the longest of time. Like I should probably move that book because I paid nowhere close to what it's going for now. But it's one of the things where it's just like, the entry point back into that book once you've moved it is extremely difficult for me to rationalize. Yeah. So like this book, my like Vault of Horror book, I mean, dude, hell, even my modern Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider, that 1-100 ratio, like it's hard for me even to sell that one just because the concept of getting back into it is a lot harder. And I'm confident that I'd be able to find other ways to get into the next batch of books or the next big book that I need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So like certain big books will go. Like I'm currently trying to sell my all new Marvel Now .1 9.8. You know, that's an expensive book right now. It's an $800 book. So like I'm trying to move that book. That's where I like so it's like it's all about like the ebb and flow, right? You give and you take, and your goals to like so I'm selling that so I can keep my ASM 252 9.8, which I don't see another entry price point into that book if I were to move it right now at like a realistic price point.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's funny that you mentioned those two books. You mentioned ASM 252 and ASM 300. Those were both, you know, like personal grails that I wanted that I had in my PC. They're both newsstand, both 9.8. Well, the 300 was 9.6 newsstand, and I always wanted, you know, all of the black suit Spidey keys in my PC. Right. And I got the 252 9.8 newsstand for $350, and then I sold it for $900. You know, I was like, I can get $900 for this now. Like, I'm just gonna have to sell it for $900. But it's like you said, now it's like, well, how do I get back in? It might be completely out of reach later. And
it's the 300 time.
Yeah, and the 300, it was the same thing. The 300, it was 9.6. I got it for $700. And I just sold it for $23.50. You know, and I was just like, if I can sell it for $23.50, right? Like how? Like it was just hard for me to keep it, you know. And then since then, it actually has come down a little bit. I don't know if I'll ever get back into to ASM 300 newsstand, like that.
It'd be hard. It'd be very difficult.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but does it hurt you that you might not? Or you're okay with it? That money just makes the difference, makes it all okay.
I know that I always can, right? It's just I might have to fork out more money, right?
Right. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Do you think you will? And do you think you will?
I think I will. Yes, I'd like to get it in 9.8. I mean, I'd like to do that, and I don't know. I think I can play with the money that I got from it long enough to where even if the price does go up on the 300, I'll have made more in profit on all my speculating to make up for it. And that was kind of my whole point, is like the ROI and the way that the blue chip keys go up in value is usually slower than the spec books. And so if I can get more for the spec books, then even though the blue chip has gone up, my profit has gone up more on the specs. But it's tough. It's totally tough because we're not talking about stocks where you have no
company. There's no CEO. It's a company with actual workers. Like, it's a whole different ballgame. There's there's investor calls and all that. It's just a book and the concept of this book and what people are gonna do with this graded book. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I just started selling books this year, and I'm just getting. It took me forever just to get to that step, and like now it's like, okay, what can I live without? And I start picking it. And if I think I'm gonna sell something, I don't know if I'll get. Like, a lot of my older books, I got for practically nothing.
Right.
Because I bought them 30, 40 years ago.
And that's a win-win. That's a win-win. Regardless, you have nothing into it, and you'll make the most amount of profit. Like,
but I want it in my collection. But I want it in my collection, man. Right. I want it.
Just keep it. You have nothing into it.
I got nothing to lose, right?
It's the easiest way to justify it. It's like, I have nothing into this book. So it's a win-win no matter what happens whenever I sell it. You know what I mean?
Or my kids sell it, right? One day they might be selling it.
That changes up too. Like, I look at books and I'm just like, all right, if I hold this for 10 years, what am I looking at? I'm like, all right, this might be epic in 10 years. So it's a whole. It really comes down to time. So like with the way Brian puts it, it's like, all right, cool. If I could sell this $2,000 book now, the quantity of time that I can use within this 1 year period, if I can get back up to that much to reacquire it, then go for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's all about that. How much time do you want? Because whenever you get a book graded, at the end of the day, whatever reason you get a graded book for, it doesn't matter. If you want to get it graded. But at the end of the day, it does technically turn that book into some sort of collectible investment because you've taken this $20 and you're like, oh, I added another $20 to this book to preserve it, to keep it nice, to make it look clean, or to increase the value. You know what I mean? So you've spent time and money on that book. And it'd be nice if that book shows appreciation and appreciates in value.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of those things I was going to say real quick. One of the things about my PC is trying to pick books, because one of the beautiful things about comics is there's so much to choose from, right? I mean, there's so much across every era. Golden, silver, bronze, modern. There's so much to choose from. So why not pick stuff in your PC that is kind of a blue chip, right? Like a reliable investment and has that spec value. Because there's so much to choose from and you can't have everything, No.
I mean, Slab Dragon would beg to differ.
He could have everything.
He could have everything.
Oh yeah.
If you're familiar with that monstrosity of graded, but he can have everything.
Yeah, he could have it. Brian,
maybe Rob Worth could have everything too.
Maybe Rob, but he's not into the graded books.
No,
that's the only.
But he has.
He has the Hall of Justice. The Hall of Justice. Brian, you were saying, I believe it was in your video today or the video yesterday, about what you did with your oh my God, your relief. What was it called? The
stimulus.
The stimulus. And you got your stimulus, and you bought 2 books. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And it was 100% return on it in a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's you almost can't not sell them in that case, huh? When you did that, it was just about these are gone. You got them,
Yeah.
and they're going to be going as soon as you. Not as soon, but
Yeah. Well, it's tricky, but I kind of have a thing for my PC is like if any book that I have has doubled in value, even if it's something I wanted to keep in my PC, then I just need to really think about it. Like, should I move it? Should I move it? I doubled up on it. Can I take that money and put it into something else that's more that has more potential to double? Because if it's already doubled, chances are it's going to start leveling out after that point, right?
yeah, everything seems to.
Yeah, so it's tricky, but yeah, those two books were. It was the well, one of them I still have. It's up for sale right now. I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but the price has doubled, and it's so the first one is Secret Wars, number 8, newsstand. I got it. It was double signature. I got it as soon as I got the minute I got that stimulus check. I went to eBay and I bought that book. It was a double signature and it was $500, and I sold it for like $10.50. On eBay. So
Like the day later?
No, it was 9 months. 9 months later.
Oh yes, because like all the Black Suit books doubled in value.
Yeah,
like more than double, like yeah, you'd be mad at what you don't want to know what I paid for the ASM 9.6 back in the day, which was just 8 months ago.
And the other one was a Fantastic 452. It was another one, and both of those books I was like, I want them for the PC. I got the $1,200. I'm just gonna buy them. I was just gonna keep them in the PC, and then 9 months later they doubled, and I was like, so now I have the Fantastic 452. And I feel like I got to move it right now. I got it for like
burning a hole in
$650.
your pocket. It's burning a hole in your pocket. What grade is it?
Probably a 5.
Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, a 5 is about $650. I think a 4 is like $550.
Well, no, this was like 9 months ago. This was before.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
So what grade and how much? Well, it had to be like $600.
A 7 or an 8?
It's got to be like a 7.5.
Yeah.
Well, now, I mean, what's the price now on a 54 or a 52?
Well, what's the grade?
A 6. Yeah, that's pretty much
6.5.
Press.
I would say that it'll maybe 1,000, 900 to 1,000.
No, it's more up at like 1,200, more than that even. I think the lowest listed price is like $1,450.
Wow, that book has freaking.
There's
coins.
some.
But you picked that up before he passed away, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep. And it was a killer deal too. It was a totally killer deal.
Yeah.
So the question, and it's pressable. It obviously has never been pressed.
Did you buy the notes?
Can you see down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
It looks like it could be cleaned as well.
Yeah, man. You should buy them greater notes on there.
Yeah.
I'd recommend that.
So, anyways, and I think a big part of it too with the price, because the price recently went up on this, because this hit the key collectors hot 10 or something, and right away. So yeah, that's what another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is what's up with that. What do you guys think of the app? How do you feel it? A lot of people get mad. A lot of people get mad and hate on Key Collector and say it's ruining the hobby. But
do, yeah,
why do they get mad though? What's the big
because they don't have those books, maybe.
Well, it changes the way that so a comic, right? Like, how long has Key Collector app been around? Like 2 years at the most, right?
Yeah, about 3 years, about 2 years.
And before that, we've always had some sort of, like, there's always been like Comic Book Invest, or like there's always been like CLZ. There's always been like some form of like Go Collect with a thing, right? GPA with a thing. But to make it like something like mainstream, they've changed the way that the normal day-to-day person views comics, if you know what I mean. So the concept of the like a quote unquote like hotkey coming out and then now with technology, like 10 years ago, this, not possible, not a thing. You know what I mean? Smartphone. So like the concept of what people have been doing since for 60 years on how they've been collecting comics is suddenly and immediately changed, and has also increased the value of everything once it hits the app. So you're trying to talk to people that have doing the same thing the same way for like 50 years. You're like, no, now it's this. They're just like, of course they're gonna be mad about it. Like, it's changed, it's different. It goes away against like the old cliches of like how you used to like collect books and like shows and things like that, where it's like it's sort of like specking on all these moderns, and then like skyrockets the moderns, where like now this modern that came out 2 years ago is worth more than like this Silver Age Submariner #1. But
it's hard to stomach that. I get that as a guy that has all these modern books behind me, and I look at one of them that's worth more than, like, this is worth more than my 52. How is this worth more than my 52? Right? Like,
it's because it's yeah.
But it is. It is worth more. It's supply and demand. It's supply and demand. That's all it is. Is that?
Hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Let me just bring up Derek's comment. To be honest, been collecting 40 years, just like me. These prices going up this fast this year is scaring me, man.
Yeah. And that's a normal thing. But also, you got to remember the fluctuation of funds that has been affected by not just like the old school collectors and the newer collectors, like even by people that are just trying to like make $1. You know what I mean? The people that like go to a shop like, oh, I can sell it for like $20 and call it a day. Like it is different, but the thing is, like, just because it's increasing this much in value, it's coming from like people like either like believing in the book long term, or it's just like, or it'll be a fad. Like, we'll find out. But I honestly think it's just from the quantity of influx of, like, look, didn't Brian just say like he spent a stimulus as soon as he got it on like a couple comics? You know what I mean? Like, so like, and then we had 2 of those and just no convention. So the concept of using eBay and Facebook and Instagram, like, the availability of books has limited down from 2020 due to the lack of conventions. So what you have out there online is pretty much what you have access to, unless you know someone. Also, we've had the most amount of information related to movies and TV shows than we've ever had in the past 10 years. So this could be another reason why they skyrocket. Like, things just skyrocketed in price because people just like know, all right, long term, like people that may think long term, 3-4 years, this book is going to just be bonkers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Complaining about the app. Oh, what was I guys saying about social media? Complaining about the app.
Yeah. To stir the pot and bring attention to the YouTube.
I mean, if that's what does it, I will happily complain about Key Collector app on my next YouTube video. I will happily break that review.
Do it with a picture. Right? Do it with a picture of you, just like in anguish. No, you know?
The Key Collector act strikes again.
Hey, look at this comment, because Mastodon is also commenting on that.
Oh yes, correct. Yeah, it's true. That's definitely a thing where it's like they publish the information, and then 9 out of 10 times, what happens when a hot key is put up on the app? If you go to eBay, they're all gone immediately, right?
Or they're through the roof.
Correct. Like, they're taken down, relisted, and they're gone immediately. And then the concept of like, oh, that was a mistake, and there's like a correction now. It's super challenging. You know what I mean? Like, the one thing that I will never understand is the Marvel previews. Is it 95?
Oh God, come on!
What is the Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man one.
That will never make sense to me in like a brain cell. That the concept of like that book doing what it's doing now. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not that smart. I'm not, probably, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, the concept of like that and like how much it exploded, and like just like the justification of like, oh yeah, we have a completed sold listing. I'm like, all right, cool, but I'm like, it's still ridiculous.
Yeah, that one's a tough one for me too, because I'm looking at it going, you're talking about the things that I literally use to start my fires. I get those with my comic book shipments, and I literally use them, to start the previews, the cheap ass newspaper paper preview.
Yeah, that you get for free.
And I was just about to say that I think it's unprecedented, but I do think it has happened a couple other times. I don't know.
Information is wrong. But
No, where a preview book goes up in price.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's some from the 70s that those fumes that were just those, but those are from the they're the classic covers. There's something to them. It's not because it's a first. Well, there might be one.
They're 50 years old.
Yeah, they're 50 years old, man, and nobody collected, and nobody saved those. Those were like what Brian's saying. Those were fire starters,
They were,
yeah.
But the whole like stirring community is definitely it's a thing. It's a thing that's happening. Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole X-Men. The first they decided that the first appearance of Gambit was the X-Men Annual 14 because logistically, sure, it came out before Uncanny X-Men 266. But that is like they don't have the final say, right? Like they don't. Like sure.
Yeah, and don't you think that like even if they mispost something, right? Don't you think that you have a responsibility as a consumer before you go to make a purchase to vet the information? I mean,
nope. I'm buying blindly. I trust. I buy cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. No, you're 100% right.
I've been a little puckered a couple times where like I see something on Key Collector and I'll go right away and I bought it and I bought a bunch of copies and then I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, what if they do a retraction? What if they do a retraction and I just got all those books? But I think
it's buyer beware, man.
Of course it's not their fault,
Oh no, we can totally blame them. You can blame them. It's fine.
You know what?
Yeah, and just
what?
No,
Brian, come back.
Brian, come on.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. You're just a little choppy. You're just a little choppy. You've been really good.
Hold on, let me just move my hat like this.
Professor has a good point where it's like the cameo versus appearance.
Yeah.
I honestly want to say that when you attempt to have that argument, it's whatever the majority rules. It's whatever I don't care if a single person says, but this was published 2 years before. It doesn't matter. If the majority, like there's a old like psychological experiment where like they had a group of dudes. And then they're all in on it except for one guy, and they all said this line was bigger than this much gianter line, and the one guy in the middle is like, oh yeah, they must be right because it's the majority. So It's one of those things where no one's gonna change it. You know what I mean?
But don't you guys look bringing up the 266 to the X-Men Annual, right? It's kind of like Hulk 181, 180. It's just everybody goes with what's the better cover? What's the more iconic cover? 266. 181, and we just go with that. And the first and the other one's a cameo, and they're still worth something. But
if you really want to win the argument, you just buy both, and you're like, oh, I have both.
Exactly. you know what? Go ahead.
For me, when I read the book, right, and I read the book, if they make a cameo on the last page. And then the next issue is all about them. It's I want that first appearance for the story value. Like there was one that I had too that was first appearance of Nadia Pym as the new Wasp. Right? It was Free Comic Book Day, Civil War II, and they count that as her first appearance, and she's just like on the last appearance, and then her actual first appearance, she makes this like giant debut in the comic, and it's just this awesome story, and that one gets no love. And to me, it was like that was her first appearance. So, but that's one of those things where it's the market dictates, the market dictates, and in that case, her cameo is the money book. But in most cases, it's their first full appearance is the money book.
Yeah.
But it is interesting though. It is really interesting when it comes down to like when you get the book graded, like what does that CGC label says or whatever label? You know what I mean? It's always interesting. It was that same dilemma with like remember like Batman 92 and like Hellraisin. No, Batman 89 and then Hellraisin 3, where like there's like different verbiage on each one, where like shows up in book but doesn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So hey, along, did you guys always use CGC?
No. My first books that I ever got graded were actually CBCS books.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that the new label?
No, dude, this is from like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, that's an awesome book, dude.
Yeah. This was actually one of the very first books that I got graded. This was signed by Quesada in 2018. So like right at the start of 2018 when I started getting back into comics.
That's an awesome book.
I didn't know anything about grading. I just said like, oh, pick one. Oh, which one? I didn't know. So I just had to pick this one.
I bought these two off eBay. This had to have been like one of the first books in the new case. As soon as they came out, the new case, I just bought the first book I could find on eBay that had the new case because I wanted to see it. I wanted to fill it. And honestly, I like this case. I like this case a lot. I like the way it looks from the top a lot better. I just think the label pops. I like the case, and do I like it more than CGC? No, but God, it's about the same. Like I wouldn't mind having any book in a new CBCS case, as long as I can get it for about 20% less than the CGC price.
Yeah, exactly. Have you guys ever cracked out a CBCS book?
Yeah, I did. I did a video about it.
How did you feel? I've only done it. I've cracked a ton of CGC. I've only cracked one CBCS. The CBCS gave me more trouble.
So the new CBCS or the old CBCS?
It was an old one.
So I've done both. I thought the old one was a cakewalk.
Really?
Yeah,
maybe because I've only done one and I didn't know the trick to it.
It comes down to just it is a feeling. It's more of a feeling than like an actual practical thing. Where you're just like, oh, it'll pop here, and then you just like it just if you do it enough, like so for me, like the new CBCS cases are actually hard to crack open because I picked one up and I got the case. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm gonna crack this open. So yeah, but it was actually more challenging than the CGC case, surprisingly.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird, but yeah, it was. So the old one was easy, but the new one was hard.
Have you ever had a situation? Do you mention that because you're wondering for like the integrity of the book, like knowing if they've been tampered with, or
no. I just said it because I was surprised. I've only cracked one, so maybe I don't know the trick. But I was surprised it gave me more trouble than a CGC. I already maybe because I've done it more and I already know the trick. But it just gave me. I was scared I was going to damage the book when I was cracking.
It's because it was different. So like when the old cases, like so the sides are, if you can, let me see here if I can do it. Boop, look at that! It just opens up. Like these were never sealed on the edges, so you just have the top corners that need to be popped, and then it's just like it's free. But yeah, these are a little challenging the first go around, but after a few tries, they do. I didn't
even try that on the side because that's the old CGC. You could do that because I have an old CGC.
Yeah,
and it kind of you could do that same thing to it.
All right, I do on this side.
To an old one. Yeah.
Boop boop boop.
You could do that. Hey, kind of along this. Go ahead, because I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go into a different.
No, you're good. I was gonna say like so. I had the new CBCS case in my hand, and it was weird. It felt sharp, and I didn't like it. I have very gentle baby hands, and the new CBCS case was a little sharper on my little baby hands.
Bro, shut up, dude.
It felt sharper though. Like if I compare it to a CGC case, like the edges in the front were a little sharper.
This is a good example of just personal preference because I liked it being sharp. I like the sharp corners. That's exactly what I liked about it. And Apple guy, you're an Apple guy. Like, which iPhone do you prefer? The sharp edges or the rounded edges?
It's whichever one I have right now, which is I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Ooh, and does that one have sharp edges?
Unfortunately, it does, and I don't like it.
Okay.
I miss my rounded edges.
No,
See?
like right. Ooh.
I know I want that 12. I want that 12 bad, but I can't justify it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
can, because you want to know how you justify it? I am currently doing this on my iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
iPhone 12 Pro Max equals to me like a 9.8 in this. Phone or turtles? I don't know, man. And that phone is for sure going to go down in value. And this book, I don't know what it's going to do for sure, but I think it's going to go up.
Wow. Is that the variant?
No. Okay, well, let's talk about the variant. Is that a variant? Have you seen that? Have you seen the white?
It says
like
Eastman. It's Eastman right there. Yeah.
No, it's the variant. This right here is white.
It's white. Yeah.
But it's only kind of white. Like it's not even all the way white. I looked at that and I'm like, that's an error. Okay, I guess we're gonna call that an error.
But there's very few of them.
I know.
That's like newsstand. Now I was reading something about the UK variant in Moon Knight or something is going crazy now.
This is the old CGC case.
Yeah,
it's just like that. Yeah.
It is the same thing. It is the same thing as CBCS.
Yeah. Oh, hey, while I'm on it, before you switch gears. So about these old cases. All right, so check this out. This one's got the little holder, right?
The inner well.
Yeah, the well.
Is that called an inner well? I thought everything had a inner well, but
Not
it's
everything.
like a
no, not everything does. If the book was too big to fit, they would then slab it without the inner wall.
Okay, so check this out.
That one has one.
Yeah.
Why? Why does this have one?
It's so the book doesn't move.
Yeah, but not. I have another copy here. It doesn't have one.
That's
Because
obviously fake.
No. That's because
Obviously it's not real.
That's when they changed their cases to those. That's how they first came out, and everybody started complaining about the Newton rings because there was no well, and it was just smack against the book.
This came in the same submission as 24 other books.
Well, then they forgot it.
Then they,
24 other books that didn't have that little inner well thing, and this one does.
Probably ran out for that day.
Maybe it was something they had left over or something.
Dude, at the end of the day, every CGC book should have an inner well when you get it back.
Yeah, but
wait.
When they
everything should have this now, the little thing.
Yes, the well.
None of mine do.
No, they do.
Yeah.
None of my recent submissions have that.
Yeah, all CGC books should have that inner well, unless the book's
when they first went to those new ones, they didn't have it, and that's when everybody was complaining about Newton rings. Nobody complains about. You still get them from time to time, but rarely. At the beginning, it was like the whole front was a freaking giant Newton ring.
Right, and that's why everyone was hating on CGC. Oh, well, one of the many things they hate on CGC.
Right, and then they changed it and they put the inner well again. That's what fixed it for the most part.
That's crazy because all of my books from my recent submissions do not have the inner well.
Do they have the Newton rings?
No.
None?
They're lucky. Yeah.
But it's just what was weird is like I was just like, anyways, so it should have that, but some of them don't. I don't know.
Inner well, you could see it. Hey,
this one was. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're good, man. Go for it.
This one was a success story. I bought this as a 9.6 and sent it off to Comic Book Pressing on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And he pressed it out for $7, right?
Nice.
And sent it off and got the 9.8. So that was a good one.
So when are you going to be selling one of those Invincible Iron Mans?
I don't know. I like
that throws off your entire concept.
It does.
No. I'm waiting for the. It's for sale right now. Anybody watching?
Okay.
Do you want?
Okay, so it's for sale. I want to make sure it's for sale.
You're waiting for the show?
I'm waiting for the trailer. Yeah.
The trailer. Okay. All right, that's fair. Hey, kind of along the lines of the key collector, people hating on key collector for whatever reason. There's always going to be hate. CGC gets a ton of hate.
Yeah,
You guys have submitted a ton of books. There's videos out there. Labels turned around. The book is upside down. The book is backwards. There's hairs. There's pubes. There's this.
What's with the pubes? I swear to God, I got a pube once.
Oh wow!
No.
Congratulations.
I mean, it wasn't just a regular hair. It wasn't just regular hair. It was like chest hair
It was
or
like one of
pube
these
or
hairs.
something.
One of these
Yeah.
dark, curly,
Okay.
majestic.
Yes, one of those.
Maybe it was scared.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been submitting books to CGC for I guess like you can say like 2 years. I don't do many of them.
Right.
Like I don't do as many as like maybe some people, Brian. But I do a good amount. I've honestly only had an issue with like one book coming back where I think it got damaged upon the pressing. Out of the maybe 400 books that I've submitted total, maybe a little more. I think maybe like 400 or 500. I don't know. I honestly have only had one book that came back damaged. I've never had an incorrect label. I've never had cracked cases show up. Never had the wrong label, backwards books. I've never had a single issue other than the one book that got damaged when it was getting put into the inner well. And there's nothing I can do about that. But I haven't had any trouble. Now, yeah.
I would say, I've had like three. I'd say 3 out of 200 were had like some kind of error, like where not on the book, but in the case, like there was a little loose piece of plastic.
Oh, like, but the plastic from the inner wall
or
just cracked.
one of them, the top label is totally crumpled.
Oh, weird.
Maybe, yeah. But the other one was the label, the top label, total. And my take on it is, man, they just passed 7 million collectibles graded for CGC, right? They've done something, and I said this in a video too, is anytime you do anything 7 million times, you're going to get pubic hairs involved,
You're going to screw it up somewhere. Someone's gonna be playing teabagging some books.
Somebody's gonna teabag a book. Somebody's teabagging books over at CGC. They're like, really? Another free comic book day book? Yeah, you're getting teabagged.
Enjoy that free first appearance of virus. Or should I first appearance of chlamydia?
Dude, you might have that with that Spawn 9 when you get those back. There might be some issues.
Now, here's something to bring up when you talk about submitting an insane amount of copies. I forgot who it was, but someone posted on Instagram. I think he submitted eight copies of ASM 316, and not a single one came back in 9.8. But he submitted them all in the same submission, which kind of sometimes leads you to believe that like the more books you submit, like the harder it may be sometimes to get that 9.8 back.
Don't say that.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the Instagram. Like, he submitted 8 really nice copies of ASM 316, a couple of newsstands. He didn't get back a single 9.8 out of all of them. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, the more books you submit in the same order, it's not like you're having different graders grade your batch of books. You're going to have the same 3 graders go through your 100 same book, and eventually they're just like, all right, they've established what 9.8 is. Will any of these meet that criteria? So it's one of the things to think about too. Like when you're submitting books, like, do they submit harder when you submit a bunch of the same book? Because they have a lot of room to like, oh, this looks like this one. Oh, here's another copy that's just like that one. Must be the same grade then. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's something that I
can see that point, but if that were the point, that would hurt them.
Oh. No, it would, but I'm not saying it's from like a business perspective, but highly, I think of it from like just like you doing your job perspective, right? Like if you were told to inspect these 10 bushels of apple, I don't know, these 10 bags or whatever, right?
Right.
Like the consistency, like you're like, oh, well, you've seen the same thing so repetitively, like, oh, this will pass and this one won't pass. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of the things that is like human nature almost, where it's hard to start like critiquing individually.
The 3 people see the book will help that though.
Maybe not. You know what I mean? But that's the whole spec. You're literally you take a book. And you're like, I'm gonna guess what grade this is, and I'm gonna send it to 3 other humans. They're all gonna guess what grade it's gonna be, and they have the final say.
Right. I've had a book damaged by CGC.
Yeah.
I've sent like 150, somewhere around there. I had a book, but it was by CCS. I had them press it. I'll never have them press it again, and they damaged the book. And I've never really had anything come back in my book, a loose piece. The worst thing I've had is maybe the book is a little crooked.
Yep.
Right?
That from the inner well, just like cracking, they didn't cut it right like that.
But that's about it. I've really not had issues. I haven't.
You know what's something too that I don't listen. This is where like the whole like you do it because it makes you feel better and it makes you think. What's up, Brian?
I don't know why people.
There he goes. Brian.
I was just saying, I don't know why people hate on him so bad, and as consistent as they are, you know, it's like.
Well, as we found out, it gets views.
It does.
But no, at the end of the day, there's reason to complain. They do F things up. They do screw things up, and it's good to like call them out on their mess ups. You know what I mean? It's just like anything else. Like, hey, they screwed up. Let them know. But you know, it's be like that for everything. You know, like there's issues with. No one's perfect, right? There's no one perfect, and then just let them know they made a mistake.
And the amount of books they're sending, and I've also heard people call them up. Hey, you know what? And they try to, you know, I've heard stories too. Hey, they messed this up. Call them up, and they hopefully do work with you. I've heard, well, you know. Then I hear other stories that they've never answered, but I've called them and they've always answered. And I've called them, and they've answered too.
Yeah.
And I've gotten emails like that one book that they did. I wasn't totally happy with it because it took months to let me know because they put the book on somebody's desk and I never got called. But once I did get called and everything was straight, I got emails, I got calls, I got my refund, and they took care of it. You know, they made up for what their mistake was. So I don't see. It's just people hating, man. The same thing with Key Collector. It's just a tool. Use it at your own, you know, discretion. You can't believe everything you read.
Oh, you can. You can if you want to. It's America.
You can, but you're gonna hate that ass when you're you know you're losing your money.
It's true. No, Hailey, you have a great point. At the end of the day, man.
Yeah, you know, when it comes.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I would say on the CCS part, because you brought up CCS, and I called them one time. I had a Edge of Spider-Verse 2 variant, the incentive variant, the Greg Land cover. It was a 9.6 signature series, and it was a 9.6, and it was totally pressable, 100% pressable. The corner was just bent, non-color breaking. I know for a fact that book would get a 9.8 if it was pressed. And so that left me with only CCS. The only way I can keep a CGC signature series and press it is if CCS does it. Otherwise, it'll get that green label. And they told me, and I just was calling, I was just saying, like, what level of confidence do you have that you won't mess up this book? And they could give me zero confidence. Zero.
Yeah,
they were like, we can't make any promises.
No, yeah, they can't make any promises.
They can't.
No, they can't. They can't make it. It's the same concept. Of like, they just can't make promises like that. They're just too subjugated to make a promise like that. You know what I mean? It's a risk. It's a risk, and you have to like. I try to assume the worst. I really do.
But you know what? A lot of people send books to pressers. You know, friends
I send all my stuff to pressers. I only use CCS emergencies,
and that's a risk as well.
Yes, it is. It's not always guaranteed to get 9.8. You're not. You're just not guaranteed to get 9.8.
You're not guaranteed that they won't damage your book either.
Yep.
It happens. Stuff happens. That's never happened to me, thank God. But what they did to my book was they split it was a book.
Yeah,
it was a new modern book, and they split the
took the cover off. They took the cover off of it, right? Yeah. They pressed it. Yeah, just got too hard. Dude, at the end of the day, man. It's all a risk. Like whenever the book leaves your house, just prepare for the worst. And it's easier when it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I hold my breath. Hey, did the books arrive? Did the books arrive? Did the books arrive?
One of the things they told me when I called in and I said, you know, like, I just want to know, like, if you press this, is it going to mess up the signature? Because it was a paint pen, and I thought, are you going to add heat? Is it going to mess up the signature? Yeah, and so they said, well, listen, we press 4,000 comics a day, and I can tell you that, you know, it's rare to get a thing. And so like she was trying to ease my worries by saying that they press 4,000 a day, but that made it worse for me. I was like, you do 4,000 books a day? How could you possibly do them well? I mean,
They don't.
What size facility do you have? Before I get kicked out again, or think one thing we forgot to freaking mention is the Hialeah giveaway. This is
what?
We're supposed to do this. We were supposed to do this at the beginning of the video, but this is a little mystery box for your subscribers and for people who commented on the Instagram post. So whoever, I don't know if the comments carry over when you post, when this goes like to a post.
You can see the live comments, but I'm not sure. I know you can see them.
You can see them. They might be there tomorrow. They don't always come up right away.
Okay. So anyways, if anybody's watching this and they've gotten to this part, an hour and 20 minutes in, now you're going to have a really good chance of winning this, because if you leave a comment down below, you have a chance at this nice little mystery box. Nothing huge, but some cool books in there. Just a little A-okay. I gotta stop doing giveaways, you guys. Like, I seriously might go out of business.
Thank you so much for doing that, man.
Just give away some of those Spawn 9s.
Thank you so much.
You'll have a couple Spawn 9s that you can give away.
Dude, that is awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing that, dude. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, Brian's the best.
Wow. Thank you so much, dude. I don't want to stop, dude.
We don't have to.
It's been an hour and 20 minutes. It seems like we just started.
Yeah.
Well, hey, can we do this again when I get? We'll do this again when I get a better connection.
Yes, definitely.
You're using your laptop, right, Brian?
Yeah.
What you need to do next time, you're just using the Wi-Fi, aren't you?
Yep.
You need to have it hardwired into the router. That will prevent any of this lag. So that's what happens, is that like the concept of like you trying to do this over the Wi-Fi, it's gonna buffer every time.
Yeah.
Unless you're next to the Wi-Fi, which my Wi-Fi router is right there. So that's the only reason it's working. But if you get a hard right into, no issues.
My man cave is a work in progress. I still got to get this thing finished out. My setup just sucks right now. You know, it's just really bad.
I think it's great. I think it looks great.
You need to get an IT guy. That's what you need. You need to get an IT guy to help you out with that. That's what you need.
Oh God, I hate IT so bad.
It's pretty much just fixed with duct tape or WD-40. Does it move and is it supposed to, or is it moving and it's not supposed to? Usually
sometimes back when we were at the office, right, and the internet would go down at the office, and I was the IT guy, and people would come running in and go, Brian, the internet's down. I would just go stand in the server room, and I would look around, and I would just stand in there for about 5 minutes. 99% of the time, problem fixed itself.
Got that magic touch.
I got scared. You scared it into submission, right? Dude, all right, man. We've gone. Man, is there anything you guys want to talk about that we haven't touched on?
Like we haven't talked about like I think maybe we did. Brian touched on it. Just like whenever you crack books to like resubmit, regardless of whatever company you use, like it's never a guarantee that it comes back in a higher grade. Like there's always, like, anytime you alter the condition of what the book was in, you're taking a risk. Like at the end of the day, I think the bullet point of this was like, whenever you get books graded, there's a risk involved. What is the percentage of the risk? It doesn't matter what the percentage of the risk is, because it's there regardless, whether it be 1 or 99. There's a chance.
Yeah, pretty. You just never know. Like even that 9.6 that I showed the Moon Girl, I'm scared it comes back a 9.4.
Right.
You know, it's just a risk you take, but you gotta weigh it. I'm not into it for a lot. It's not gonna kill me if it does come back a 9.4, and it's worth the risk because there's not much into it.
Right. You know what I mean? That's where it comes down to. Like grading does increase the value of books. Like, it's just a fact. Yeah. It depends on what company you use. You know, there's other companies that you may not. I don't know. I'm not going to try to hate or anything, but like, you know, other companies that people don't use as often, like an EGS or like a PGX.
Or PGX, they're barely mentioned anymore, right?
They're out there. You know, I think they're in Florida, or one's in Florida, one's in Oregon. But like, it's one of the things like I'm actually gonna do a whole video comparing all 4 of them, and showing all like pros and cons, the prices, stuff like that. But like, they're out there. Like at the end of the day, man, like if you get the book graded and you want to, then just do it.
Yeah. You know what? I want to bring up one more thing because Brian kind of brought it up, and I did this mistake, and I still might do it, but not as much. Not every book. You gotta know what book to send in, man. Not every book
needs to be graded.
It needs to be graded because you just look on eBay and there's like, why was this book graded? Why did they send this book in? Unless they love the cover. Unless they, but if you love the cover, why is that book on eBay? You would be keeping it, right?
Yep, and then and that's where it comes in. Like, but let's assume positive. Let's assume positive intent. Let's assume that they love the cover, they got a great, and something happened. So now they're like, all right, what do I have that's valuable that I could try to sell? They realize, unfortunately, like this is not worth as much as they had anticipated.
Right.
So it's always a little frustrating when you realize that, you know.
Yeah, and one thing to just look at before you send it in is look at the current prices. You know, look at the current price of the book, calculate what you have into it, how much it's going to cost to get it graded, and worst case scenario, like if you're not doing a pre-screen, what's that book worth if it doesn't hit that grade you think it's going to hit?
Yeah.
They're staring at you saying there's a chance.
Oh, you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance. Samsonite, way off.
It's true, man. You just gotta know what books. Look into the books that you're gonna send.
Right. And utilize your tools. Like utilize the pre-screen. I mean, dude, at the end of the day, man, utilize the Key Collector app. Like it has information out there of values. Go Collect has graded values. GPA has graded values. Like the information is out there. Just you got to do a little extra groundwork to find out if it's worth it.
YouTube, watch videos, man. You learn a ton watching videos. Everybody, the different channels. It's not just one channel either. You gotta diversify, watch everybody that's doing it, and see what they're doing. And most people are doing the same thing. You just gotta pick and choose. You know, it's fun though, and I'm with you, Brian. And I know Skeff doesn't want to admit it, but yeah, dude, I'm addicted as well, dude. It's a rush. It's I was addicted. I got out of it, and now I'm the drug. I'm hitting the drugs.
Well, because most of the time though, like if done correctly, you will be rewarded in one way or another. Like if you're gonna hit more hits than strikeouts by doing it more often and with a better eye. So therefore, like, oh, you did great. That's instant gratification. Can I do it again?
Yeah. When I was first doing it, when I first started, compared to now, I'm hitting a lot more than I used to.
Right.
I'm looking at books a little different. It's like, oh, before it was like, oh, this is nice. I'll send this in. Now I don't do that, and I double check and I look at the book over.
Yeah,
and
man.
No, man, it's no. It's a nice book. I would love to send it, but no, because of this, because of that, it's not worth it, and I'll leave it. And I'm okay with that. It's you just live and learn, man.
Yeah.
You just live and learn.
Yeah, and it's like that guy that asked somebody commented early on, you know, like what suggestions do you have for my first submission? And that's why it's so hard. Like I thought about it. I've thought about that a long time too. Like, can I make a video that says, you know, what to do on your first submission? And I just don't know if you can make that video. I think you have to just.
I made it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did a video showing off, like, it's similar, but I did a whole video on like 12 rejected books. What's up, Perry? On like 12 rejected books, and I went into detail because I found all the defects in the book and showed off all the defects of why that book didn't make the 9/8 cut for a pre-screen. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I think about it too. Like, I can definitely make a video gathering all the stuff that I've learned from all my submissions. You know, but at the end of the day, I think even if you watch that video, you still have to make those submissions. You have to learn by experience. You got to do it. Yep.
And
you're still going to make mistakes. And you're still going to make mistakes.
You learn. It's learning. So it's a learning. It's take your time. You'll learn. And then one day when you grow up, you'll submit 100 Spawn 9s too.
Okay. That was the first submission that I made like under my like official business license too. That was like the first one. It was like 100 copies of Spawn 9s.
You need to tell me more about the official business license thing, because that is.
We'll come back to this. We'll go circle.
Oh my God! When are those books coming back? Do you have any?
Well, I mean, I shouldn't have said anything because what if they all come back like?
Did you pre-screen them?
Okay, I pre-screened and pressed them.
Okay,
and that was the biggest.
Pressed by
Ccs. It was my first submission, right? My first one. I was like pre-screen and press. And this was like 9 months ago. I still haven't got them back.
Wow.
Because like getting a book pressed by CCS
takes forever.
Not including the grading time.
You know, but in this case, it's actually okay because it's like if I had got him back 6 months ago, I'd had so much time to like at least she's closer to getting her announcement, right? Like that book hasn't even popped yet. Like with any luck, by the time I actually get it, she will like actually be worth something.
That's what happened. That's what happened with my Venom #3 third printings.
Yeah,
when
they're stuck. They're held up.
You sent them in the Venom 3s, and when you got them back, that's when they popped.
Yeah, I submitted them in not last year Comic-Con, but the one before that. So I submitted them like right after they came out because I loved the cover. I had faith in the cover. I got them all submitted, signed, and pressed by CCS because I was the only option to get them signed. And like when I said like, all right, when I get them back, I could probably sell a couple for like $150 and keep the others. And by the time I got them back, they're like, how much is that book worth? $400?
What was like 450, 400, 450? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it dipped off to what 200, and then now it's back up to what 350, 4.
Wait, for a signed one or
the third print?
Yeah.
You're talking about the third print. Oh, the third print.
I submitted 9 third printings a year and a half ago.
Wait a minute, you got 9 third prints for cover price?
Yeah, I picked them up when they came out.
Shit.
It's called learning the game. It's called learning ASM. Yeah, all cover price.
That's next level. That's next level though.
It's dumb luck, my friend. It works out sometimes.
You need to get that business license, bro. If you could,
we'll have a chat.
Call that one.
Teach me. I don't know anything about this, but you need to teach me how that works.
You need to scale up.
You know what,
dude? You should have got 100.
Well, I didn't. I was able to work with the change that I had.
Dude, if you have what it takes.
So one thing, like this can go off a tangent. It has nothing to do with creative books.
Man. So what do you sell them for?
Venom #3 third print book poop all the time about it's being really stupid. Listen, there's a book called ASM 569 and ASM 654. And the second prints have the cover of the villain, and they're worth 4 times as much as the regular cover, and they came out like 12 years ago. So like the concept of the villain or whatever it is on the second print cover was always a thing.
Yeah.
Was always a thing. So that's just my little tangent that I get mad about this stupid stuff.
Brian, what step in the process are those Spawn 9s at?
Are you sure I can't just like retract those words and then everyone will forget about it and we never bring it around? I'm sitting here. I'm so puckered. God damn it! No, don't do it. There's already one guy. There's already one guy on Instagram that messages me about every 2 weeks. It's like, hey, did you get those Spawn 9s?
I will be joining him in that message. Hi, Leah. You make sure you message him once a month too.
No, dude, I'm gonna get like 20 out of 100 back 9.8, or watch me get 0. Watch me get 0. Oh my god.
You could. It's potential.
I think your odds are gonna be good, man. I think your odds are gonna be good.
You'll get at least 10. You'll get at least 10. The rest will come back 7 5s. And then I own a great video on CGC putting pubes in your cases. It's a win-win. You'll get views, and it'll be a win-win. You can't lose.
People always give me shit about and rightfully so, they give me shit about my thumbnails because I'll be like banging my head against the wall because I got a 9.6, right? And people are like, what are you going to do if you get a 9.2? So what I'm going to do if I get like 10 of these spawns back or none, I'm just going to hold one. I'll be in the bathtub with a toaster, just ready.
Or I would wait. Like a better one, have one in your hand and then a fire, and you about to just let it go. Let it go to where it's rightful home.
All right.
You'll be fine.
All right. You guys, I will do a video, and I hope that it's going to be a video of like when you take a chance and it comes out okay, but it might be a video of like, this is a huge thousands of dollars mistake that you need to avoid. CCS and spawn in general.
We're gonna do this live. What do you mean a video? Like this will be you message us when this, and we're gonna go live.
Yeah, we'll go live on your channel.
We'll go live on whatever channel you want to go on, buddy. Yeah. This has to be seen.
Since I'm the smallest channel, you can do it on my channel. Nobody will watch. Nobody will watch. So it'll be okay. You know, you guys will be up there by then. So we can do that. But we're over an hour and a half, man. I just want to thank you guys. Brian, thank you so much for the giveaway. I'm going to give you the floor. What do you got coming up on your channel, man? Thank you so much.
So right now, I got mystery boxes. I've got $50, $100, $200, and one $600 mystery box. And I didn't do it right. This is my first round of mystery boxes, and I didn't take pictures before I packaged everything up of like the grand prizes. And because I saw Nerdy Girl do it, Nerdy Girl Comics, she just posts like, hey, I have mystery boxes, and she sells out right away. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that too. So anyways,
the chick with like
I didn't do it right.
Million subscribers.
Yeah, Nerdy Girl.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, all I can say about the mystery boxes is that I guarantee you everyone will be happy with them. Like they're really generous. They're really fun to put together too. So I have that going on, and there's a grand prize for every tier. So for the $50 ones, there's a grand prize. For the $100 ones, which are actually almost sold out, there's a grand prize. For the $200 ones, grand prize. And other than that, you know, got a lot of books coming back. Nice. We'll be doing a lot of unboxings.
Nice. How can they contact you on your IG?
Okay. IG is the best way. Yep.
Dude, thank you so much. Skiff, what you got going on?
Man, nothing cool compared to Brian. All my stuff is terrible.
Yeah, except you got freaking like monster keys that you got for cover price, and I'm over here getting fun.
It's crazy.
So what I have coming up is that this is a start. This is gonna be a big year for me. I'm gonna try to like get better at YouTube, and I'm gonna start doing more videos, more content, more tips and tricks, and actually more informational videos on my thoughts on like grading and companies and books that are coming out. And I have those boxes.
Wait. Let me just go back real quick.
Yeah, she had horrible. I saw some horrible freaking unboxings.
Look at all these comments, dude.
Oh man, can we do a video about that? Is that possible?
My whole point of bringing her up was the fact that she didn't post pictures. And anyways, I should have took a cue from that. Anyways, lesson learned.
But yeah, I was just saying, like I have like a grand total of like 125 books out that are either grading or they're getting pressed and then they'll get graded. So I will have like 6 or 7 really good CGC unboxings coming up in the next month and a half. So I'm really excited for those. I have another 50 books right there that I need to send out to CGC. Just kind of trying to like, take my time with that. But other than that though, I have my 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I have a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. It is the best. I have no shame in this. It's the best giveaway I've ever seen for 2,000 subscribers. It's like $900 worth of stuff.
It's fire.
It's fire. Yeah.
It's like $900 worth of stuff because I love you all for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. But also just like I want to give away stuff because like I was able to get all this stuff on like a pretty good deal. So what I can do with my smarts and my deals, like at least give some of those deals back to you guys but taking all the time to like watch and comment and subscribe. So please check it out. You won't be disappointed by the giveaway at all. I promise.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Thank you guys. I don't got nowhere near the books at CGC that you guys have. I think I have maybe 30.
But that wall is beautiful, though. You have so much wisdom on us.
Well, these are all moderns. These are all moderns, actually. These are all These are a lot of moderns. I'll be changing out the wall soon, but man, guys, this was a blast.
This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Let's do it again.
You
guys want to do it again when I have a better connection? I feel like I need to make up for that. There's a lot of dropping out in the beginning.
You let us know. I do this show, once every 3 or 4 weeks, different guests. But yeah, hell yeah, we could do this again. This was a freaking blast, dude.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Sounds good.
Like always.
It was a lot of fun. We were all excited about it, dude. I was nervous, to tell you the truth. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little nervous. I was telling you, Skeff. I'm just gonna be the third wheel tonight.
But I had the greatest quote. You have to not lie. That was an amazing comeback I had for that third wheel.
Yes, you did.
He's gonna be the third wheel, but I'm like, a tricycle can't run without that third wheel, can it?
Yeah, there you go. I'm the tricycle. But anyway,
good stuff, my man.
It was, dude. Hey, I want to thank the chat. So many good people in the chat. Thank you so much. Chat. If I didn't highlight you, I'm sorry, but
we'll do it again.
We will do it again. Thank you so much for watching, everybody on the replay. Hope you learned something and stick around because there is a giveaway. Thank you, Brian, for that, man. That's freaking awesome. Everybody, be safe. So long from the Sunshine State. See you soon, everybody. Take care.
Peace out.
Peace.